Hello everyone, my name is Tuti Trivedi and today I'm going to present wildlife animal detection with in-depth information of image processing as well as computer vision. Throughout this presentation, I will go from introduction, motivation, technical background, propose the method, and results. Now, before I start with the first slide, I would like to mention that as a human being, we all are more interested to observe the wildlife activities and their habitat as well as their lifestyle. In ancient time, researchers, especially ecologists, tried to work with the mark and recapture model. They are going to mark different animals and their species, and then after they are going to work on their population counting as well as their migration patterns they want to observe with those mark and recapture model. Later on, whenever we have the chance to work on technology and we get different devices, there is a device that is going to capture the image in remote areas of a forest as well as the wildlife habitat. Such devices are set up, and those devices are sensor based devices. So, those devices will activate it whenever it is going to detect some motion. Such devices are known as a camera trap. The camera trap is really useful to the ecologist because that helps them to observe different activities of animals. Now, we have technology and we have computer vision that research on computer vision increased from many last previous years. Here it will work with camera trap and gives us outstanding results because the camera trap as well as the object detection model that the camera trap as well as the object detection that computer vision provides is the best fit combination because with help of that we can identify the bounding boxes that cover the region of the small bird as well as different objects. Here we can see there is the rectangular bounding boxes aligned with the cat, dog and duck. Now I would like to go with motivation more in depth. One of the motivation for working on the object detection that align with the wildlife that is that is reducing the illegal trade activities that is happening in the forest areas, illegal poaching as well as illegal trade of different species. Moreover, it is also helpful to research and monitor wildlife. Apart from that, if we have a technology that is going to detect really small bird, then we can predict the bird strike and we can prevent such accident that happen with the birds as and airplanes. With saying that, I would like to mention the overall idea of the methodology that I'm going to present throughout this slides. Basically, in this slides, I'm going to compare three different methods with I'm going to compare three different methods to detect the small bird. Now, first method is Markov random field, second one is YOLOv8, and then third is the absolute difference between two image pixels. Before that, I would like to give basic idea of what is object detection. Object detection is a combination of two tasks, object classification and object localization. Object classification is going to classify the particular object of interest, that it belongs to dog, duck, or a bird. Whereas the object localization is going to identify the bounding boxes with the height, width, and also with the central regions. There are two approaches for object detection, neural network based and non-neural network based. Now, what I mean by this is that, as we can see over here, we have input layer of different nodes and we will get the output. Now, neural network is something that is mimicking the human brain. As inside human brain there is a neuron. Those different neurons are responsible to handle different situation and make us remembering different incidents. Likewise, here we mimic the same idea of that neuron and we connect such neuron with the dense information that we provided to the machine that is going to predict the output. That is the overall idea of neural network. It has input layer and one or more hidden layer. Those different hidden layer are going to extract different features of the input image. Let's see, we pass on an input image as the bird, then it is going to identify the bird wing, bird eye, bird head, bird body, their legs separately. And it is going to extract those information, and at the end it is going to tell us that, okay, this is the small bird with the bounding boxes. And if the output of any individual node is above specified threshold, that node will activate it and it transfer to the next layer. That is neural network based. And non-neural network based approaches are simple, which doesn't have such dense neural network. Now, we'll start from the first method, that is Markov random field, then we'll compare that with the neural network based approach, that is YOLOv8. This is the Markov random field basic idea. As we all can see the image that is saying that the easier example of Markov model is the weather forecasting. That says that probability of raining today that directly aligned to the probability of rain that happened yesterday or not. So it directly aligned with the previous day's probability. That is the basic idea of Markov model. Then it is one of the statistical method that is going to represent random changes or happening between two stages. Now, I also want to mention what is MRF, that the heart that we used for this analysis of detecting really small bird. Now, Markov random field represent a set of random variables with a joint distribution with respect to a particular undirected graph that we can see in the image. It is going to identify the joint distribution that is between two neighboring pixels of image. Now, third part is hidden Markov model. Now, in this hidden Markov model, I would like to again talk about the example of weather forecasting. Let's say the probability of raining today that aligned with the weather of previous day. Now, to add on that, I'm going outside and the probability of I'm being wet that directly aligned with one of the variable that I have umbrella with me. If I have, I will not become wet. If I will not have the umbrella, then there is a probability that I will become wet. Now here, having umbrella or not, that is one type of hidden variable that affect my output, whether I will become wet or not. Likewise, every time we are going to observe the pixel cluster in the previous stage, and that observation we use to pass the model, the previous model that we explained, and then we are going to come up with the idea that the particular region will align with which shape. Now, basic idea of MRF is that we have one input image. We will work with unary potential and pairwise potential. These are more in-depth concepts of image processing. Now, as we all can see, this is the head of the bird, but it is directly in some of the region, it is directly combined with the same color as a background. So that is a challenging part for this object detection. Now, this is more on statistical side. So I will jump to the next one that is more on computer vision side. By applying the unary and pairwise potential, I get the result that is going to segment the image. And obviously, to detect such small bird with such color, such a small bird on the over here, it becomes more harder due to the color of the bird as well as the background color is more correlated. So that's why it is going to count the wall section as the background. It is not going to highlight that area at all. But the MRF works really well for segmentation over here. Now to conclude with MRF, I'm trying to detect small bird, but MRFs rely on local interaction between pixels or small groups of the pixels. Those are neighbor to it. And another very important conclusion for this is that it struggles to differentiate between actual object and background noise because of the dense environment of the image. Now, that is first methodology. Now, second, I'm going to work with the filters. That is one of the interesting part for me. Here, we have 3 consecutive images, and we are going to compare this 3, and with the help of absolute difference between 3 consecutive images, we get one in. Once we get the absolute difference between 3 image pixels, then we apply the Gaussian blur, histogram equalization to maintain the contrast, and the morphological filters to add as well as to increase and decrease the background matrices that we want. Now here, Gaussian blur. We also learned Gaussian blur and histogram equalization initially this in the computer vision class. These are the more in-depth of image processing concept. Like Gaussian blur gives more weight to the central pixel of the image and less to the pixel that is farther away. So it is going to one type of smoothness it is going to give to the image with the help of Gaussian formula also. Now histogram equalization is going to brighten the image. How? By evenly distributing the most frequent intensity values to whole pixels, it is going to enhance the contrast. So it is going to improve the visibility as well as the brightness of the image. Now, very important is morphological filter. Throughout this research, I also come up with this filter first time, and I really enjoyed working with this filter. Morphological filters manipulate the shape of the feature in an image. How? Two basic operations, dilation and erosion, which add or remove the pixel at the boundaries of image in the object that we get. Now, here are the results with this method. I have 3 consecutive images. By saying consecutive means 3 time-stamped images. And with that 3 timestamp images, I get the result by applying those filters. And these results are excellent one, but I would like to go and observe the other results also. This is the another results where we can see a squirrel on the downside, as well as the next results. This is one of the good results that I like. There is a squirrel and there is animal. Now to conclude the second method. Absolute difference between 3 images with the help of filters gives us a clear results. Effectively highlight the structure of animals, and we can clearly visualize that this is a squirrel. But it requires static and foreground and background. That's how we will change the absolute difference between 3 images exactly. So that is one of the negative point for this such images with the help of absolute differences. And when background changes, the method struggles as it results in the more pixel change, and it will give us more such white dots because it is going to identify that as a pixel change. Now, I would like to work on the third method. That is one of the very well-known computer vision algorithm for object detection that starts with YOLO. YOLO, known as you only look once. Why? Because compared to all other neural network-based example of object detection, YOLO is just passed one time, it is going to extract all the features. Now, to give the best idea is we have input image. We are trying to make this image in different grid size. Usually it will be 16 by 16, but to get more good results, we can make more grid size. 64 is also really good. Now, with the help of that grid size, we train the model, and whenever we get such different boxes inside the object, around the object, at that time, it is going to work with the confidence that we provide during the training time of the YOLO version. And then, as per the class probability map, it is and the highest confidence with the interest of union, it is going to identify the one bounding boxes per objects. With saying that, now in this research, I will pass YOLO version 8 to those input images, and those input images which has really small bird, and YOLO version 8 first tries to split the image in 3 parts, and then it is going to apply all the hidden layers inputs that we have. It is going to split the image in 3 parts and then apply the and scaling that input images. Then it is going to work with the add layer that is going to perform element-wise addition and implement the skip connections. Then the power layer will apply a power function to each input element and adjust the feature activation dynamics. And it is going to work with the feature extraction in between of all these different layers. Once it is going to extract the feature, it is going to map that, and then it is going to combine that with the help of concatenate layers that merge the feature maps from different branches to combine diverse results, diverse features of the input image. For our case, it is input image with the small birds. And then it is going to reshape the layer, and finally it is going to give us the output layer. Now, with the help of YOLO, I passed the YOLO version. I passed my input data that has around uh, that that has small birds, and then I passed it to YOLO version 8, and with the 25 epoch as well as confidence point 25. It takes all and all like 2-3 hours to train to train the model, as well as here is the results with that it detects the small bird over here. I would like to zoom in so we can see that there is a bird. It says confidence point 58. Then there is another result with the 0.73 confidence. Okay, now it is visible. One more result we can explore that with 0.38 confidence. Now the confidence is for this small birds. It is good. It is distant confidence that what I observed while doing this research. Now I'm going to conclude the YOLO V8 performance. Initially, I come up with 3 comparative analysis for small bird detection. First, MRF. Second, absolute pixel difference between 3 images. And third, YOLO version 8. Now, YOLO version 8 forms better compared to Markov random field, as there is a depth of neural network and feature extraction that we can do with the help of YOLO version 8. We can conclude that it is better because it is going to detect, we can see the results with the help of confidence that we get. Those all the output results have confidence 0.35 and more. Whereas MRF is struggling to detect small objects. But here I also want to mention with the final conclusion that obviously neural network based approaches are superior. That's why currently in industry there is a n number of research going on for the neural network based, and it is going to identify small sized bird with detailed feature extraction. That is true. And YOLO V8 can distinguish between object and unnecessary background and in depth dense images. But moreover, MRS is more focused on segmentation and color matching. It is not best fit for feature extraction. Now, for the future work, I would like to explore the YOLO version 8 with the more data sets. Currently, I don't have the diverse data set, so I want to train the model with diverse data set. And second, for the MRF, I would like to work on the layout CRF. That is one of the research paper that I explored throughout the research. So I would like to work on that to see how layout CRF works. And with that, this is the references that I used. Obviously, YOLOv8 all documentation helps me a lot, as well as for the Markov random field, Wayne and Cheton research paper helped me a lot. Thank you so much.